There's our Reverend Kitty. Once that candle is lit, we are officially starting this on fire. That's right, on fire.
How you doing? Yeah. I'm doing fabulous. You know, usually I have help to do, all the setup for Sunday morning, and there's this long list of things to do, and they do such a great job. And today it was my turn because we have a wonderful guest speaker to join us today. I'm not so good at the list, so I'm discovering all these things that I didn't do. So if you look through the lens of the camera today and you see something missing, it's my fault. I own it, whatever. Sorry, my bad. Come back next week when things will be more together. And welcome to Unity in Naperville. Welcome to you. Love to see your faces here. Welcome to all of you watching online today or next Friday or whatever day it is for you. We're grateful to have you joining us here in Naperville, Illinois. And as I mentioned, I had the opportunity to work with Reverend Greg Coles yesterday, who trained our Board of Trustees as well as several of the other Unity churches in the area. So the sanctuary was full of activity and learning and interaction and growth and joy. And we were lucky enough to talk Greg into staying over and sharing a Sunday message with us this morning. So it's good for you to hear someone other than me on Sundays. Yes. Grateful for that. And you'll get to hear from him in a little bit. But as you know, if you watch us at all on Sunday mornings, if you come here, one of the things we love to do is sing because we have a fantastic band. Would you not agree? Yes. Highest Good is here today to lead us in some music. What are we singing first? We are one in the Spirit. And that's so fun. We're one in the Spirit, which we certainly got a chance to feel yesterday, being with all these other Unity churches and hearing what their lives are like around Chicagoland. And whether you're there or here, we're one with you. The lyrics are going to be up on the screen. We like to stand, but you're welcome to sit if that feels better for you. If you're at home, you want to stand, get some energy going with us. Let's sing.
Good morning, everyone. It's Name Tag Sunday. Do you have yours? Let's sing this together. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the light. We are one in the Spirit. We are one in the light. We will walk on our way together, shining laughter through the night. And we'll know we are family by our love, by our love. And we'll know we are family by our love. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. We will walk with each other. We will walk hand in hand. And cause the world to know the love of God is in the land. And we'll know we are family by our love, by our love. And we'll know we are family by our love, by our love. You feel the love? Do you? And we will work with each other. We will work side by side. that's right. And we'll know we are family by our love, by our love. And we'll know we are family by our love. And we'll know we are family by our love. By our love. One more time. And we'll know we are family by our love. Isn't it nice to know? Just look to the person next to you, and we see the divine. We see spirit, and we see that we're connected. I see you, I see you. I see you. You know, I have to say, even if we're not in this space with one another, we could be outside, looking to the mountains, looking to the ocean, and we'll see the divine there as well, yes? And God, you are every mountain. God, you are every ocean. God, you are every canyon, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every morning. God, you are every midnight. God, you are every moment, every second of my life. In everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. And God, you are every sunrise. God, you are every moonglow. God, you are every star shine, every inch of earth and sky. God, you are every springtime. God, you are every snowfall. God, you are every season, every second of my life. Oh, and everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you. Everything I see, everything I do, everything I am is you. Everything above, everything below, everything I know is you.
Still doing my job.
Standing on the line.
Just wanted to make sure that we can see everybody that's coming up here. Let's just take a moment to center ourselves in prayer. Loving Spirit, everywhere present, we feel the depth of your peace as our peace, for we are one in the Spirit. Divine love is our love, for we are one in the harmonizing power that is our good, that works for good, that draws our good to us. We are the love. And we allow that divine light that is everywhere present to shine brightly through us as divine beings, ready to grow and expand, to open ourselves to new ideas, to become a fuller expression of the truth of our being. we know there is nothing we need do as human beings but simply say, yes, I allow. And so it is. Amen. Will you help me speak our invocation? The words are up here on the screen. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. Thank you. You may be seated.
Send my love over the mountains.
I send my love over the sea.
I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. Returns to me, and it returns to me.
Beautiful. Thank you. Feeling the love. So I just wanted to take a minute or two to introduce Greg Coles to you. He's a Unity minister that not only served in ministry and leadership since 1991, but he's recently become part of Unity Worldwide Ministries consulting team. And he goes around the Great Lakes region. How many states are in the Great Lakes region? Greg? This is a test. There's 8 states, so that's a lot of Unity churches to cover. And Greg is kind enough to be able to talk with churches throughout their growth cycle and whatever training they might need or consulting. Also serving lots of ways. One of the things that Greg does is peacemaking. He's been trained in peacemaking. Also, teaching how to be a healthy congregation. He's a specialist in the work of Byron Katie. Some of you may know what that is about. Also, conflict mediation skills that's taught by the Lombard Mennonite Peace Center. And as I said yesterday, we had the joy of having Greg join us and all the Chicagoland ministries. We got some board members here who are excited by that. Just learning so much about how we can work together as a board and serve you better. So give some love to your board members because they were here from, we'll just start at 8 until about 6 last night. So give them some love. Yes. Yes. And as I mentioned, we snagged Greg to come visit us because the next thing that's going to happen is he's on his way down to Unity Village for our annual convention, where usually it's mostly Unity ministers that go, but other lay leaders from the churches. And there's a conference that happens all week long, and he'll be doing a couple different things, right? Good. So he's a busy guy, and we're grateful to have him share his love with us today. So let's welcome Reverend Greg Coles.
Wow. Thanks. My pleasure. Wow. So, we are standing on a bridge. We are standing on a bridge. Of course, a bridge is a metaphor, right? It's a metaphor for crossing over from here to there, from our smallness into our greatness, from our I can't to our I can. And the bridge to get us from here to there is called faith. Faith. So faith is our topic, and I know you've heard about faith before from this platform, no doubt. But I want to share with us and remind us today of the power of faith in our own personal lives and in the life of this ministry here. So I have 3 questions that we're going to be exploring today. First question is, what is faith? And then how are we expressing faith as individuals? And thirdly, how are we expressing our faith as a spiritual community? So I looked up all kinds of definitions for faith, but the one that spoke most to me was written by an East Indian poet named Tagore. So some of you are familiar, I'm sure. And he wrote this. He said, "Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark." Oh, yeah. Faith is the bird that feels the light and sings while the dawn is still dark. And I love that because it speaks to perceiving the light, that power of God, and then taking authentic action, singing our song. Well, there's another definition most of you are more familiar with of faith by Charles Fillmore, our co-founder, and he wrote this in his book, The Revealing Word. And he says, faith is the perceiving power of mind, and he uses a capital M here, very intentionally. So faith is the perceiving power of mind linked with the power to shape substance. And I would suggest to you that this is very much like Tagore, just in a much more wordy language, as Charles liked to do. So when he says faith is the perceiving power of mind, he's talking about perceiving the power of God, perceiving the light, linked with the power to shape substance. And substance is that material that's everywhere present, full of infinite possibilities. And who has the power to shape that? Who has the power to shape that? We do. Good, you're still alive. We do. So, faith is perceiving the power of God, the light, and taking authentic action, no matter the outside condition. No matter the outside condition. Ours to do. Of course, Jesus in the Bible is told to have modeled and taught faith over and over again in his ministry, especially with his healings. So when the man was healed of his blindness, he turned to him and he said, "Your faith has made you well." When there was the woman who had been ill and bleeding for 12 years, she just touched the hem of his garment and she was healed. He felt that. He turned to her and he looked at her and he said, "Your faith has made you well." And then there's the story of the centurion. The centurion comes to Jesus because his servant is at home and he's ill and he's dying or paralyzed. And Jesus won't go. He doesn't go. He says, "It will be done according to your faith." And within the hour, the man was healed. So what I want you to get from this, and what I get from this story, these stories, is that Jesus never said, "I have the power." He didn't have any hocus pocus. He was very clear. Your faith has made you well. Wow. Which brings us to our second question, which is not as faith, but how are we expressing our faith as individuals? Because it really doesn't matter to me what Jesus said, what Fillmore said, what Tagore said. I think what really matters is how we are living and expressing our faith today as individuals. To cross over from a life of lack and not enough to blessings and abundance. To cross over from addiction to freedom and independence. From a relationship of abuse and conflict to reconciliation and love. How are we using our faith to cross over? Because we are standing on a bridge. And I know many of you have had that crossing over experience, right? We could tell our stories. I have one story I'd like to share, one of my crossing over. It had to do with becoming a Unity minister. Ooh, I have the power. Wrong. Not any more than anyone else. So I had come to, it's about 15 years ago, I'd come to Unity Church of Overland Park to apply for a job, and I was there for a weekend interview. And the vice president of the board said, "Do you want to go to the village?" And I looked at her and I thought, is that a shopping center or something like that? And she said, "No, Unity Village." I said, "Really?" Like I had no clue. She said, "Yeah, it's 20 minutes away." 20 minutes away? I'm like, I had seen it in calendars, I'd read it in books. I had no idea it was there. So we go to Unity Village. Who else has been to Unity Village? Raise your hand. Or some of you probably online have been too. You'll never forget your first experience, right? Never. Never forget coming off that 350 ramp, seeing that tower rising high. Of course, me too. Powerful. And then when I was down in the tunnels, they have tunnels connecting all of the buildings. I felt like I'd been there before. I could have gotten lost, but I felt like I'd been there before. And I knew if this Church of Overland Park was supposed to offer me the job, I was supposed to say yes. That's all I knew. I didn't know saying yes would bring me here. I didn't know I'd have the privilege of meeting all these amazing board people that you have. But that's the thing about faith. When you say yes, the universe comes in to support you in ways you could not imagine. Could not imagine. So I said yes, but not at all sure about this church minister thing, right? So I said yes, and a few weeks later, I'm there at Unity Church of Overland Park, working there, and I'm taking these spiritual education enrichment classes at Unity Village. And I'm not really a classroom guy, so I go out every break, get out of that room, and I'm wandering the courtyard. They have this gorgeous courtyard, right? And I'm wandering up and down, and I'm looking at the fountains, and they have a beautiful rose garden, and I'm hopping up on the benches, and they had these big old trees. They've been replaced with new beautiful trees, but swatting the trees. And then I go back to my class, and one of the times I do this, and one of my classmates says, "Isn't it great that they've repaired the Bridge of Faith?" And here's Greg the dork again. "What's the Bridge of Faith?" And they said, "It's the bridge in the middle of the courtyard that goes over the fountains." Well, I realized then in that moment, I had never crossed that bridge of faith in all my times, all those classes. So I knew what I was supposed to do that day. So I went down, and I went to that bridge. He warned me not to come out of my light, but I'm going to. Dare I? And I stood at the bottom, and I walked to the top, and I just cried. I needed to cry. I needed to release my tears. I needed to release my resistance. I needed to release my need for perfection, to have it all right, to be perfect, to be good enough, to let go of all that crap that didn't matter and say yes to a power and a light that was calling me higher, and to embrace a possibility that I couldn't even see for myself, that maybe I could. Maybe I can. And I continue to cross that bridge daily. In all of my interactions, my working with people, I don't have it all together. But I rely on that power of faith to say, what do I need to let go of? So that I can say yes to something greater that wants to be birthed in me. So that's one of my stories, crossing over the bridge. And I want to tell you, folks, all of us are standing on a bridge right now. Humanity is standing on an incredible bridge right now. And we, as Unity of Naperville, are also standing on a bridge. So traveling that bridge of faith is really about personal transformation, right? It's an inner work. It's not about changing anything out there. It's not about fixing anything out there at all. It's about an inner transformation. It's about letting go, surrendering, dying to what no longer serves us, to allow something greater that's already there to come forth. For me, it's very much like the transformation of the caterpillar to the butterfly. And I love that story. Yeah, it's beautiful. And everyone says, "Oh, that's so sweet." And I remember being told as a little boy, and isn't that cute and wonderful? And it's not. It's messy. It's chaotic. It's ugly. So let me tell you, I did a little research. Let me tell you what happens as the caterpillar transforms to the butterfly. So it wraps itself in the chrysalis, and it begins the process of dying. And it begins the process of dying from the inside out. So what scientists call imaginal cells are formed within the very biological makeup of the caterpillar. The caterpillar doesn't recognize these cells as being part of it. So it starts to fight off these cells, almost like a cancer. And it's fighting and it's fighting, and it might win, it might beat, and say, yay, I'm strong, I'm a good caterpillar, right? But then there's another cell, and another cell, and another cell, until finally that caterpillar is fighting for its life, the only life it has ever known. Have you been there? The only relationship you've ever known. The only job, career you've ever known. The only way of doing church you've ever known. Just held on until the caterpillar can fight no more. It surrenders and it dissolves into complete and total mush. Nothingness. And here's where the good news happened. Because what evolves from that mush, from that chaos, is something so beautiful and magnificent. That caterpillar could have had no idea it was to become. No idea. It was meant to fly. And I want to tell you, this is not a caterpillar that has grown wings. What goes into the chrysalis is a completely different animal than what comes out of the chrysalis. So there's a creature that walks in with 10 legs. What comes out has 6 legs. The creature that walks in, the caterpillar, has a huge digestive tract. It's primarily an eating machine. That's its job, to eat, to devour its environment, much like our society today. Eat, eat, eat. The butterfly, on the other hand, nearly no digestive tract can be detected at all. Nearly none. And whereas the caterpillar is sexless, it has no sex. The butterfly is, for all intentions, one giant flying sex organ. Its whole purpose is to procreate, 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 rather than devour, devour, devour. So we're not talking about strapping on a pair of wings and being a better flying caterpillar. We're talking a transformation from the inside out. So now I want to talk a little bit about Unity of Naperville, because we're standing on a bridge too. All of our churches are standing on a bridge right now. Church has been in decline for 20 years. Did you know that? You can look it up. Even before COVID, for 20 years consistently, between 6,000 and 10,000 churches would close every year. And for every 4 that closed, 1 would open. Much like your beautiful thing 15 years ago, right? You're celebrating your 15th. Amazing. So, things are changing. It's uncomfortable. It's messy. And we're being called to let go of things that no longer serve us, no longer serve how it's always been, and to evolve into something new that we can't even imagine yet. And I feel like we're a microcosm of what's going on in this whole world, right? We see systems changing. They need to change. We see some of them breaking down. They need to break down. And we are that bird in the dawn that cannot see what it's supposed to look like, but who are called to sing our song, what is ours to do, what is ours to be. Barbara Marx Hubbard is a spiritual visionary. I love her work. She is an author. She's a founding member of the Association for Global New Thought. And she writes this. She says, I believe that what we are becoming is new and open-ended, that we have not yet fully experienced our potential. No kidding. As we learn to use our radical new powers of science and technology, combined with our higher consciousness and deep wisdom, we will give birth to a society equal to our spiritual and social potential, and a new humanity that is yet only imagined in its full expression. She says, we are the crossover generation from one phase of evolution to the next. I believe that. We are that crossover generation from one phase of evolution to the next. And I believe Unity of Naperville is here to transform and fulfill a purpose. There's a poem I'd like to share with you. This was written by a woman named Sonia Renee Taylor. Extraordinary. It's titled Called to Dream. Called to Dream. She says, we will not go back to normal. Normal never was. Our pre-corona existence was not normal, other than we normalized greed, inequity, exhaustion, depletion, extraction, disconnection, confusion, rage, hoarding, hate, and lack. She says, we should not long to return, my friends. We are given the opportunity to stitch a new garment, one that fits all humanity and nature. Do I hear an amen? We are standing on a bridge. Where's Mark? I'm going to ask you to come help me here. As we close, I want to take you into a little meditation. We're going to go on a little visual journey. So I invite you to close your eyes, and we're going to journey back in time together. We're going to go back in time to June of 1951. And it's the dedication service for the Bridge of Faith at Unity Village in June of 1951. So let's close our eyes. And imagine that it is a beautiful June day out in the courtyard. And we found a patch of grass and we're sitting here. And we can feel the sunlight, the light coming down on our face, on our skin, warming us. We can feel a gentle breeze that's in the air. We can hear the fountains, those beautiful water fountains trickling. The lovely sound of water, renewing, refreshing, rejuvenating. And we are a part of this. We can feel an energy, a vibration that is in this courtyard as other people gather next to us and near us and around us. There's an excitement as our hearts join together. And we hear the music that's playing in the distance. Some beautiful Unity music. And then we listen to these words, these very words that were spoken that day in June of 1951 by Unity minister Ernest Wilson. A bridge is an affirmation. It is man's assertion of I can to nature's challenge, you cannot. It is a symbol of the pathway from frustration to fulfillment. And this is the essence of the message of our founders. The greatest testimonial we can give to Charles and Myrtle is not to admire what they had accomplished, but to find in ourselves that same quickening spirit. These are troubled times, and the dark shadow of war is on the world. Thousands of young people are giving the greatest measure of devotion for ideals. If ever there was a time when men should lift up their hearts and find a pattern of faith to emulate, it is now. If ever there was a time when men should lift up their hearts and find a pattern of faith to emulate, it is now. And so we move deeper now into that inner chamber that Jesus spoke of. That inner chamber where the kingdom of God resides within each of us. That kingdom of God, that place where we have never been hurt or wounded. Where there is only forgiveness, love, compassion, and understanding. For ourselves, as much as for anyone else. And so in this place, we ask, what might be ours to let go of? What might be hindering us from crossing that bridge of faith? From being transformed ourselves from our own I can't to our I can. And to consider the possibility of surrendering that to Spirit, of just letting it go and flow under the bridge as we cross over and say yes to something perhaps we can't even imagine for ourselves. But we say yes. Yes, God. Yes. To something greater, more whole, more beautiful, that is already within us, waiting to be expressed. Already within Unity of Naperville, just waiting to be released and unfolded for the world. And so we pause in this space for a moment, in a time of quiet. Just allow the music to move us deeper. And so it is. Amen. So for your spiritual practice this week, I invite you to find a time out in nature or in your meditation chair, wherever it might be, wherever you find your most connection to what you call God, whatever that word means for you, where you can feel the power of God expressing and calling you into greater possibility than you can even imagine for yourself now. Because we are standing on a bridge. And we stand here together with one another. God bless you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Reverend Greg. he said so many things in there. I just wanted to get up and do my sermon. It's nice to have a day off, and yet there's just something in me that says, ooh, I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about that, and I want to talk about that. So maybe we'll lead off in another direction, but I love that whole idea of the butterfly and the potential and the possibility that dwells within us. If you were here yesterday when the different boards were meeting together, I almost I did go off on a rant. Let me just own it. I went off on a rant because I was feeling that, being on a bridge but not really knowing what's on the other side. Yeah, for churches, for Unity churches, but all churches. And, what is our country coming to in regards to spiritual community? And is it looking different than it is now? Oh, yes. But what? See, that's the thing. So I'm just grateful that you're willing to be here this morning and share in this journey together, because it's definitely calling on our power of faith to take us through to whatever's on the other side. And as long as we do it together and we feel that sense of connection with one another and we know that we share that oneness with Spirit, then there's really nothing to fear in this process. I even said in here, I hate the word surrender, but that's what this is calling for, is a letting go and letting Spirit work through us as we do this work. So thanks for your willingness for that. And this is a time in our service where we also step into our faith as we give to support the spiritual community that we are one with. We share our tithes and our love offerings, having faith that the source of our good is not us, it's not our employers, but it's the infinite substance that Greg talked about, that God is and gives through us. And so if this feels like your spiritual community that you wish to see expand and grow and cross that bridge with you, then we are inviting you into this time of giving. And there's some ways to do it online because you are part of this community as well. You support this community as well. And we do that online by our Facebook page donate button or our website donate button at unityinnaperville.org. We also have a P.O. box if you'd like to send a check to P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville, and the zip is 60567. And whatever you do, as you give, I'll remind you to join us right now in blessing this gift. The words are up here on the screen. Together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. Ushers, will you come, please? Yes.
And there's a beautiful song called Butterfly by Jana Stanfield. And we're going to play a video right now. And I just want to let you know the video is something I took with my phone maybe about 5 or 6 years ago. I was at the Gold Rush Women's Conference. And you know how they have a social sometimes in the evening? There was a social happening, and people were doing karaoke sort of stuff. And my friend Leah felt compelled to dance. She's not a dancer, but she felt compelled to move and interpret this song. So I'm going to share that with you along with the song. I have to say it's something that I watch at least 4 or 5 times a year. When I keep it. It builds something in me. It stirs that faith. It stirs that willingness to step out and dance or be and do whatever we're called to be and do. Butterfly.
Sitting alone on a hillside, confused about what to do. My choices were all complicated. It was time to think things through. Spotted a striped caterpillar, stretching her face to the sky, then dragging her cumbersome body an inch at a time. I was feeling the pain of slow progress when a friend of hers fluttered by. As I leaned close, the caterpillar spoke with a voice as soft as a sigh. And she said, butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. I can feel a change is coming. I can feel it in my skin. I can feel myself outgrowing this life I've been living in, and I'm afraid of change. So butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. I'm like my friend Caterpillar, afraid of that dark cocoon, wanting to hide in the tall grass when change is coming soon. But all of the things that we long for are born on the wings of change, and losses can lead us to blessings that we can't explain. So butterflies remind us there's magic in every life, and we can become what we dream of if fat, furry worms can fly. So I say, butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. I can feel a change is coming. I can feel it in my skin. I can feel myself outgrowing this life I've been living in, and I'm afraid of change. So butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. And on the day of my last breath, I expect to see angels like butterflies over my head. And I'll say, butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. I can feel a change is coming. I can feel it in my skin. I can feel myself outgrowing this life I've been living in, and I'm afraid of change. So butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be alright. Butterfly, please tell me again I'm gonna be
Laugh and fly and cry all at the same time, right? Oh, you can just feel that. You can just feel that. And I hope that encourages you to know that you can go beyond what you see with your eyes, because it's all going to be all right, yeah? So guess what? I'm your announcer today. I'm going to have the announcements for you. And if you're here for the first time, you're watching online for the first time, we're glad you joined us. We've actually got a few ways for you to stay in touch with us, and one of those is to go to our website, unityinnaperville.org, and put your name on our mailing list to receive our Tuesday e-news that comes out every week talking about the events that are coming up here at Unity. And I have also started doing my own twice monthly e-news, Kitty's New Thoughts. So if you'd like to sign up for those, you can also do that on the homepage, unityinnaperville.org. Also, I want to tell you about a few things that are happening at Unity, and get to the most important thing first. Who here wants to win $1,000? Or $500 even? We're having a raffle contest just in time for our annual, or our 15th annual celebration, and to predict what's going to happen in the next 15 years. So part of this celebration is through the raffle tickets that we're selling, and you can do that online at our website, unityinnaperville.org. If you're here today, you can get tickets out in the front room. Credit cards are accepted, checks, cash, and they're $25 each. Or if you're the one who likes a deal, you're going to want the 5 tickets for $100. Save a few bucks there. But hey, buy 20, buy 40. It's up to you. We love it. Thank you for doing that. The prizes are going to be given away online during our big event. I'll tell you about that in a moment. So you don't have to be here. You don't even have to live here in this area to be the winner. Just thanks for supporting your Unity in Naperville community with your ticket purchases. Do we have board members here today, or did they all stay asleep? All right. Will you just stand as you're able? So thank you again for your time yesterday. And if you guys have questions about what's happening in the business of Unity, they'll be out in the front room. So feel free to step up and ask your questions today. Thank you, board members. And I also just wanted to say a big thank you to all of those who helped put on our lunch yesterday for 25 or 30 people. Yeah, Mary was one, and Wanda Faye, and I know I'm going to forget people, but I know Gordon brought some food in, and Beth Schwartz did some goodies, and anybody else here today that, forgive me if I forgot you? Mary, I said Mary, didn't I? Right off the bat. Margot helped put our coffee together. And yeah, you served a lot of people yesterday, so thank you for your willingness to help there. And so here's a few more things that are going on in the next week or so. First of all, our Monday morning metaphysics study group is meeting online at 10:30 tomorrow, so see our event calendar to find out how to connect with that. Everything is found on the event calendar at unityinnaperville.org. Also, Courageous Writers is meeting on Saturday online at 10 o'clock. And my new class starts a week from Tuesday online at 7 p.m., but I'm also doing it live in the building here. First class in 2+ years in the building. So yeah. We're studying Eric Butterworth's book, In the Flow of Life. It's for sale at the table. If you're going to come here to the building, you can buy a copy while you're here. We're asking you to pre-register. So even if you're going to come here, if you just find a way to go online and make it possible to sign up so I know who's coming, but also prefer to have you pay. And again, one of these deals where if you sign up by next Sunday online, you can pay for all 4 classes instead of $20 a piece. It'll be $60 for all 4. So I hope you'll take advantage of that. That ends next Sunday. And our prayer chaplains are still serving you with personal prayer one-on-one on the phone right now. So if you need prayer today, please send your email now to prayer@unityinnaperville.org, and someone will call you, one of our chaplains, between now and 1 o'clock this afternoon. So thank you, chaplains, for that. And also, let me remind you, unityinnaperville.org is the detail for every event we're hosting. Just look for the event calendar and then check the dates. You'll see what's up and how to get there. Let me go back now to the big Next 15 event that's coming up on June 25th. Our board met again a few days ago to just continue some of the planning of what we're going to do, and I just laughed the whole night. I just think it's going to be a fun night. And I really hope you'll save that date and watch us online. We'll be live streaming from unityinnaperville.org. And some of you are asking, like, what's the cost? How are we raising funds? Oh, trust me, we'll have lots of ways for you to spend money. No cost to watch the live stream, but we'll give you opportunities to make donations online for a variety of things. And we'll also have special music, and we'll have some comedy, and we'll have some future telling. I've already seen the future of Unity. Let me just tell you, I got a preview of one of the interviews we're going to have with a well-known astrologist in Chicagoland who's already mapped out our future. Now, of course, we know that we're all in charge of our own future, but it's kind of fun to hear how the stars are working. And the theme of our evening is Love Will Steer the Stars. So we're going to tie it all together with some fun things to watch, and lots of other things happening that night. So we also We got a blessing from some folks that are going to be singing for us that night. Do we have a video that we can show of that right now? Here's just a few.
Hello, Unity in Naperville. Happy birthday, 15 years.
15 years of awesomeness.
Happy anniversary.
So honored to be among everyone here to celebrate your 15-year anniversary.
Yeah. That's just a few of the great singers that we'll have available that night. So please put it on your calendar. We're counting on you. And if you have questions about it, I'll be out in the front room and talk more about it. Make sure you get your tickets. Did I forget anything? Anybody? Please tell me if I did. Turn around. Look. Oh my gosh. Big, important. This is your last few days to do this. I'm looking at each one of you. I'm looking at all of you online. Pretend like I'm talking only to you because I am. And this is me asking you to please just get your cell phone and go to unityinnaperville.org. And right on the homepage, there's a link to click. And it's going to ask you to just give us 30 seconds, a minute of something that you have benefited by at Unity in Naperville. Maybe tell us a little bit about a class you took that helped change your life, or a service project that you participated in, or how someone at Unity loved on you and helped you when you were having a tough time. I know you're out there. And it doesn't have to be professional, but there's a really simple way to record this, and it basically cuts you off after 3 minutes, so no long talkers. But we're hoping to get these in by the 15th, which is coming up this week, right? Wednesday, isn't that the date? Yeah, so, okay, TikTok people, get out your phones. Or you can use your laptop if you got a camera, all right? Love you, thank you for doing that. And we have one more song to sing. What are we singing? You want to stand as you're able?
Let's sing Meta by our friend Bob Simon. Let's sing together. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful, and may you be loved. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful, and may you be loved. To all of my relations, I vow to you, and we are all related. A common thread runs right through, and we can sing this simple song for the ones in pain, and we sing for the suffering. May these words melt their pain away. Here we go. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. Sing to the world now. May you be well. May you be happy. May you be peaceful, and may you be loved. Yeah.
Love that song. Thank you, band. Thank you, Bob Sima. So what are we going to do before we leave here today? We're going to close with our closing affirmation, which just kind of helps us take this into our own being, know it for ourselves, and let's speak it together. I have faith in my ability to grow beyond my past. Amen. Amen. Yes. Thank you again, Reverend Greg Coles. Thank you to our fabulous tech team who helped make this possible for everyone. Parker, Paul, Cindy, thank you. Everybody have a great week. I hope to see you at one of the events coming up soon. Don't forget your raffle tickets. Love you guys.